everyone. My name is Christian Andre, and I want to welcome you to the New Age Show. This edition of the New Age Show is dedicated to yoga, and I have brought here with me one of the world experts on the subject, and I want to introduce to you all my different guests here. And the main guest is Bikram Choudhury. I did it. How you doing, Bikram?
Thank you. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, good. So I want to go through all my guests right now, so everybody is after that will be welcome to chip in and say whatever they want to say. So we have Bikram, as if we can show everybody one after the other. Bikram Choudhury. And we have Rajashree. Hi. And you're Bikram's wife, and you're also a yoga expert yourself. Yes. And then we have Julian Goldstein. Who needs to speak up, not be shy, and who is one of the people that's been helped by Bikram, and we'll get into all that. And then I'm going to make a mistake probably on this one, but I think you are PS.
Yes, that's
wow.
right. That's right. Thank you.
And you are PS Dad.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay. And so we'll go through everybody more in details, but there are doctors from India and they're yoga therapist, just as Bikram is. So let's go through the background of everybody a little bit. So Bikram, tell us a little bit about your background. You've been a teacher of yoga for many years.
Well, make long story short, I started yoga in Calcutta when I was 3 years old. Then I met my guru when I was 5 years old. Vishnu Ghosh, brother of Paramhansa Yogananda, who came to this country in 1920 in East Coast. And in Los Angeles, he started in 1925. Am I right, Julian? 1925? Self-Realization Fellowship. And he was the second spiritual master that came from East to the West and taught West spiritualism. And he lived here until 1952. And then I was trained by Vishnu Ghosh from 5 years old to all my life. In the last 30 years, I'm teaching out of India, around the world. I started school in United States 1970, 24 years ago. Then I started school in Beverly Hills 22 years ago. And since I'm stuck and hooked here, I cannot go back, Teaching yoga, helping people, curing chronic diseases, you name it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to go back to Bikram more in details. I want to go through each person a little bit, so everybody's really pulled in. So Rajashree, what's your background in yoga? Did you do yoga before you met Bikram?
Yes, I did. I started doing yoga when I was 4 years old. And here is my teacher, Dr. P.S.
That's right.
From the beginning, I have done with him. And I have done several national competitions in India. I have done like 4 or 5 times. And all the time I was the winner because of him, of course. And then I met Bikram. Because in 1982, the India Championship, I have done it. Bikram was a sponsor from America, so he said who will be winner, they will be coming to America and they will win a gorgeous trophy. So I was the winner of that, and that's where I met Bikram. And after that, our marriage was arranged by Vishnu Ghosh's son, Vishnu Ghosh, and we got married, and I come here. And after that 10 years, I'm with him. I'm teaching all his yoga school and doing all with him, training programs and about our teachers training going on, and that's one of my programs.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
Julian, we'll go more in details with you later on, but just tell us a little bit how you got involved with yoga and with Bikram, just briefly, and then we'll go more in detail.
Well, about a year and a half ago, I went to at my temple, which is Self-Realization Fellowship. They have a men's yoga class, and I went there on a Monday evening to see if it would help my back. And I went, and I don't know that it helped my back, but it was recommended that I go and to the Yoga College of India, that Bikram could help my back. And that was my introduction to yoga. The next day I went there, and I have been going there every day since.
Okay, and you have a whole story with having diabetes and all that, and we'll get into details with that, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Then moving on to this side here, just so that we have a little, background, so when you come in and say things, people know where you're coming from.
That's right.
We have 2 doctors here with us.
That's right.
So, P.S.
I'm P.S. That's right.
just for people to know, you have a PhD.
Yes, I've got a PhD. I am specialized in alternative medicine, and I'm practicing yoga therapy for last 30 years. I'm curing the different chronic ailments and helping the people to get rid of without having any medicinal implementation in maladies.
Great. Okay. And DS, your PS son?
Yes, my brother. Brother of Jesus. Yes, I'm also teaching yoga in India, and 3 or 4 centers have to do that, and they are also coming. But with the introduction of Bikram Das, like my elder brother, for the yoga teaching courses in the colleges, and I'm the main habit. I teach the yoga philosophy. You know.
Oh, great. Okay,
philosophical background.
And just because I know that a lot of people, at least in this country and the Western world, want to hear titles and everything. You have credentials for them too. You're a doctor. You're an homeopathic doctor.
Yeah, homeopathic doctors and alternative medicine in MD in alternative medicine.
Okay. Is there such a thing in the Western world as an MD in alternative medicine?
Doctor is
just in India.
Apart from the medicine, other medicine treatment from the alternative system or the physical medicine or the other than the medicine in allopathy.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to spend more time definitely with you and go more in depth, but everybody feel free, say whatever you want to say at any point, okay? All right, so Bikram, back to you, since you're the trunk of our series today.
Welcome.
Well, I guess, a lot of people know about yoga, but obviously yoga is when people think of yoga, they think of Hatha yoga, right?
Let me put it like this way. 1893, from Calcutta, the first spiritual masters came to Western America. That was Swami Vivekananda to give a lecture in Chicago, which is exactly 101 years ago. So that was a revolution he started in the West about humanity and spiritualism. Everybody thinks that yoga and spiritualism part of religions, but it's actually not. Religion is completely different thing. It was a mixed up. But that's the first time people came to know when Vivekananda explained what is yoga and what is spiritualism. Mm-hmm. And after that, 27 years later, Paramahansa Yogananda, my guru's brother, he came to this country. But since so many yogis came from India to West and especially America, everybody talk about spiritualism. So yoga really never presented to the West the way it should be. Yoga means not only spiritualism. Everybody thought if you tell somebody, Christian, that, hey, I go to yoga class, you know what people think? Something wrong with you, you're weird. People think you go and cross your legs, do lotus position, and you turn the lights up and burn the incense and do chanting and do meditation. That's not the real yoga I did. But we do in India. Mm-hmm. There's a different stages of human life. There's different kind of yoga. Like a first you call karma yoga, means action, work. Like you are doing your job right now, right? This is called, the reason you came to this earth as a human being, to do your karma yoga. To do the karma yoga, you need certain tools. Next is called hatha yoga. You need a good health. Suppose this morning I was sick, but you were sick, we couldn't come here to do the show. Yeah. So physically you have to be fit to do our karma yoga. That's why you need a hatha yoga, which we'll explain details later. To do the job, karma yoga, the way you need your good health, of course you need another thing, it's called good mind. The brain has to work. If brain doesn't work, you'll end up in mental hospital. So that's called, Raja yoga. Mental yoga, you got to do it. So step by step. So the first thing we do in India, which is hatha yoga. That's the ABCD of yoga, physical yoga. You have to keep your body good. Why? Because in Asia, in Orient, we cannot afford to get sick. Financially, every aspect in your life. So we believe in Asia is the preventive medicine. That's why we survive all these years. So that's the biggest difference between the East and West. So that's the reason my guru, the first man who researched with the help of modern medical science, which we discussed before you and me that day in my place. And my guru sent me to research in Japan, in Tokyo University Hospital, how yoga prevent or cure chronic diseases. And I did for 2.5 years. And then I'm the first man who came to the United States to teach yoga therapy. That's the yoga we do in India. We don't only do the meditation. That I started in this country almost 24 years ago.
So when you were trained in India, were you specifically told, okay, there's specific postures that are for certain diseases, or it's more, if you do the whole thing, it's going to take care of everything? If you do all the postures.
Question is a big question. Both ways have been trained. Usually trained the first question as you said. Individually we are trained. It's like a medical science. We know what problem you have. And according to the problem, there's prescribed not only the postures, asanas, which is yoga asanas, means the postures, you know that also. Then you have different things, pranayama, breathing control, mudras, kriyas, bandhos. I'm not saying the English translation, the different things according to the disease. But that's not the first thing. The first thing I said, preventive medicine. You've got to do something not to get sick. Because we cannot afford to get sick. The Western culture, there's nothing called prevent. I'm not criticizing, but it's a fact, it's a truth. Here, you create the problem. Then you try to solve it some way. That sometimes is too late.
Yeah, there's a big shift right now.
Yes, exactly. So in the West, they make you sick, and then you try to help you, and in the meantime, somebody make money. So everything is a business here,
Yeah.
But that's why you are rich people. This is a rich country, and we are always poor because there's very little way chances to make money. So that's why the other way, also the second stage in India, preventive medicine. You do something all the time so you don't get sick. So that's why there's a setup of postures. If you do you are not sick, you're a healthy man. Okay, why you need yoga? But can you give me some guarantee, assurance, or warranty that 20 years from now that you are not going to get sick like a Julian? Bad back or diabetes or a bad heart. But if you do some posture from today as a preventive medicine, it's a guarantee better than Firestone tire that you are not going to get sick even 20 years from now. That's a both way it's trained in India. And my guru is the first man who did it like that. Right.
Well, maybe what we could do in this first show is, do you think maybe we could have Rajashree show some postures and you would tell us,
no problem,
what you would use?
That's why Dr. Das is here to explain.
All right, you're going to explain
Yeah, I'm going to explain that.
She's going to demonstrate
On medical base,
which posture cure
how it helps to cure the maladies. And in what ailments we are implementing the postures to get rid of or to get a better remedy.
Great.
So at least you can demonstrate, I can explain how scientifically you can cure the ailments by utilizing the posture as physical medicine and alternative medicines as remedial antidote in diseases.
Great. Okay, well, do you want to get ready?
You pick a name of the chronic disease.
Okay.
Let me give you 1 minute. You let me see if I can get ready. No problem. Medicine heal or cure the disease. Disease must be there is some presence of germs or infections in your body. But the incurable chronic disease, what is the chronic disease? There's no germs, no infections, but still you suffer. But do you know what the chronic disease? The weakness of some of your internal organs. If that internal organ is not functioning properly according to its same level, that means you got a problem. Like a V8 engine. One of the cylinders is not working. You cannot produce enough horsepower. Car has a problem. So that you have to cure by naturopathy. You have to re-energize, reorganize, revitalize again and again and again. That particular internal organs, until it's functioned properly, you can get rid of your chronic diseases, which we are going to discuss one after another today. And that is going to explain, demonstrate a couple of postures.
Great.
Pick one disease.
All right.
Chronic disease.
Well,
it's like a back problem.
Okay, let's go with back problem.
That's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about it? So I'll have Rajashree come right away on it.
Let me just give a few causes of the back pain. Generally, more than 50 to 60% people are having the complaint of back pain, which is known as low back pain. What we generally do, we are having some medicinal remedy
If I am the back pain, I am having some painkillers, I am getting rid of. But how long this painkiller is going to help you in the long run? And if you have the painkillers, it has got so many side effects. And you might have the gastric erosions, hyperacidity, maybe the gastric ulceration, maybe the ulcerative colitis and so on. It might affect the kidneys too. So naturally it has got some chemical component implementation, might have so many side effects.
What he's trying to say, another word, no matter what problem you have, you cannot keep taking drug rest of your life and be a healthy person. No, because you know what drug does? Destroy the immune system. Put your immune system into coma. Put in sleep. Like a baby is crying and you cannot give love to baby or milk. You get angry, throw the baby through the window and baby will never cry again. That's the way they shut up the mouth.
Yeah.
Please, Dr.
So we are giving the holistic healing in the holistic science of yoga at health culture, which is very old Indian culture heritage. Indian yogis used to practice to retain their fitness and they used to maintain their youthful appearance for the longer period. That time there was no medicine, no hospital, no doctors. How they used to retain their fitness even the age of 100 years? They used to only practice the yoga postures. And they used to remain their fit by having the postural practice. And they used to do the mental cultivation as well as the pranayam. So psychosomatic fitness, what is known as physiological fitness and the mental stability. So we believe in two kinds of fitness. One is the physical fitness, another part is the mental fitness too. Because stress and tension in the modern life, which is the causes of almost 80% ailments. We are having the gastric problems, muscle spasm, all are cause of the stress-related spasms. So naturally we believe in two kinds of fitness, physiological fitness in the Hatha Yoga. And we generally combine with the Hatha Yoga as with the Raj Yoga too. Because Hatha Yoga deals with the body and Raj Yoga deals with the mind. So we are believer in both the combined yoga, Hatha Yoga and the Raj Yoga as well, body and the mind. And main unity celebration, the medium of the yoga. How you are enjoying the harmony of peace, pleasure, happiness. And which is the motto of the life. If you are not fit, neither you can enjoy your business, neither your sex, nor your social life, nor your family life. The main motto, how to retain your better fitness, that is known as a physiological fitness and psychological fitness. That means psychosomatic balance, physiological balance and psychological balance as well. And that is the main purpose of yoga that will give you the better healing effects. So we should know the science, how it gives the better health to have the better healing power in the melodies. So I am going to give a few examples. Yoga posture, Mr. Rajashree Chaudhary, the eminent yoga expert of India as well as now in America too, and wife of great Bikram Chaudhary, the renowned yoga masters. He is preaching yoga in United States last 24 years and having a very, very popular yoga center. What I have seen and I believe, really he is doing a wonderful job for the American people. Really, I am doing in the eastern part in India, but I am amazing to see his performance and his service to the nations of the United States. How the people of the United States are getting help only by practice. He is giving a type of antibiotics. Means whatever the problems, with his posture you can heal.
Correct.
So,
we're gonna do some. I mean, Rajashree is going to do some postures. And
posture.
let's say, for instance, okay, we started with back problems.
That's right.
So
I'm going to mention about the back extension exercises, which is known as cobra postures. Let us do the cobra posture. This is known as the cobra posture. That means you are extending your back. Just to remain in the posture, let me narrate. In medically, what we call isometric back exercise, that is known as static exercise of the back. Static means you are retaining in a posture and trying to promote the muscle's power. That means you are rejuvenating the muscle's efficiency by improving the mobility of the spinal joints. That is, these extension postures help to maintain the tone of the erectospinal muscles of the back along with the mobility. Automatically, the pain comes for two reasons. One is the muscular rheumatism, one for the articular rheumatism. Now suppose to have the X-ray diagnosis, what for you are having the back pain, if there is any bony erosions or projections, what is known as spondyloarthrosis of the back, or you are not having any sorts of bony disorder as per the X-ray, only you are having the back pain due to muscular disorder, that is muscular rheumatism, which is known as lumbago, lumbar pain, what we can low back pain. If there is a problem with the articular rheumatism, I mean the spondyloarthrosis of the back or sacralization, or the back pain you might have due to degenerative disc lesions as well, or maybe the disc prolapse syndrome, what is known as the PID, prolapse of intervertebral disc. That gives the thecal cord compressions and having the radiation of pain. That if you suffers with the back pain for the long time, which is not the chronic low back pain, ultimately core condition is going down and down, and it is giving a compression on the root of the segments. That is known as the sciatic neuralgia. We are having the referred pain toward the lower limbs. And that is the agony. Naturally, what to do?
Which you call sciatica.
Sciatica.
Start
So
from the
naturally,
root.
if you neglect the low back pain, ultimately is converting in the major complications in life, which cannot be cured even the implementation of medicines. So that's why we give this posture to retain the muscle efficiency. Mostly those who are having the sitting job, they are having the low back pain because they are not utilizing their back muscles, and which is the basic ideas, because mostly the executive class of people are having the back pain due to non-utilization of the back. So that is why every day in the morning, if you practice these postures, that will give you the better functioning of the back muscles. That means you can maintain your back muscle efficiency. This is the one posture. This is the upper part of the upper extremities.
Can you do one more time, Rajesh?
Just see, this is the back extension cobra, using your back muscles. You are maintaining the tonality of the
I will
back.
explain something. How important is the back bending to maintain a good back? Do you know how I came to this country? No, you don't know. I was researching in Tokyo, and I came as an interpreter between President Nixon and Prime Minister Tanaka in Japan. And after first meeting,
you speak Japanese?
Yeah, I used to live in Japan. I used to teach in Japanese. I used to explain Japanese, you know. And after first meeting, President Nixon couldn't come to the meeting anymore, and I was interpreter because they said he has a phlebitis thrombosis in his left leg, and he has such a bad condition they had to have an operation, cut his legs. So then I was invited to teach him yoga, and in 2 to 3 weeks I make him legs normal. I mean, he survived 22 years because of the yoga practice, all these years.
Wow.
So when I told them AMA, the back bending is the most important thing in your life, they almost wanted to put me in jail. And now after 24 years, they believe the back bending is so important. Because the whole spine is a one-side game. From the day you're born and the day you're going to die, see, you're sitting here forward bending. It's the worst for the back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one statistics. United States has a 5% population of the world. And United States, 5% population has more back problem than the rest of the world has. 98% people has a bad back. And do you know why? Because they listen to the doctor. The way you grow up, the way you live, only pills, painkiller, and operation is not solution to have a good back.
No.
You have to stretch spine and do the back bending to keep the mobility, flexibility of spine the way Dr. Das explained. Please go ahead, the next one.
Yeah, we have about 4 minutes left in this first show. So why don't we do? Do we have enough time to start, let's say, on something for cancer, or it's a whole bunch of other? We should move on for the back.
Yeah, no, go ahead for the back.
One more posture, let me narrate.
go ahead.
So just lie down on your stomach. This is what we demonstrate. That is the upper part of the back. Now we are going to the lower part of the extremity. That is a half locus posture. That means you are utilizing your heel to your back, entire lower extremity using the back muscle, especially the hamstring muscles. You are using the gluteal muscles. You are in the sacroiliac muscles, interspinal muscle you are using, and you maintain the spinal mobility, flexibility, and that gives the better efficiency of the interspinal columns. Means main motto to promote the muscle's power and maintain the mobility of the spinal joint and accelerate the circulation which is getting decelerated. So naturally, basic idea of the exercise to improve all these things. For the reason you are getting the back pain. So let us come to the next point, what we are going to discuss about apart from the back pain. If you can ask me any other questions, I can read.
The next one.
So these are the postures. Another posture for the back pain we can show that is known as the Pavan Muktasan, hip flexion exercise.
What do you call it again?
Hip flexion exercise. Pavan Muktasan, actually basically known as anti-flatus postures. This is the multi-purpose exercise. That means you are using for the abdominal disorders as well as same which you are using as the pelvic floor exercise, which is known as hip flexion exercise. That gives the tremendous flexibility of the pelvic floor, and that gives the better mobility of pelvic region, sacroiliac joints, lumbosacral joints, and including the lower limbs. So that gives the tremendous
This is a
impact.
compulsory posture.
Compulsory
If every
posture.
human being in the world get up in the morning, drink glass of water, lie on the hard floor, right leg, left leg, both legs, 20 to 30 seconds. If you hold it, you will never have any problem like a constipation, back pain, like a part of your daily life. It's a compulsory posture. You don't need a doctor or teacher. The most easiest thing in the world.
So this, when you were saying abdominal, anybody that has digestive problems and all that stuff?
It helps, right? It helps.
How it helps, I'm going to tell.
Yes.
That means first you are pressing your right leg against your abdomen. You are creating the pressure which is known as intra-abdominal pressure on the ascending colons. Then you are flexing your left leg against the abdomen. You are trying to create the pressure which is known as intra-abdominal on your descending colons. Now you are having the pressure on both the legs together, pressure on the ascending colon and then descending colon as well. That intra-abdominal pressure improves the peristaltic, normal peristaltic, trying to activate the peristaltic activity of the intestine, and that gives the better movement of the feces, I mean the bowels, to move from one part to another along with the tonicity of the abdominal wall. Main basic idea, improve the peristaltic activity, not to have the constipation syndrome, flatulence, hyperacidity, etc. So this is a multi-purpose yoga medicines for the abdominal disorders as well as for the back pain. We are using the anti-flatus posture as physical medicine in the island of alternative medicine and yoga medicine, which you can call. Instead of giving any painkillers or any antacid, we are giving this medicine, yoga medicine, known as anti-flatus posture in maladies.
Great. Okay. Bikram, we have about a minute to close this, so in case somebody doesn't watch the second show for any reason, what would you like to say maybe to close?
Well, it's very simple. This is our lifetime experience. If anybody, first thing, you have to do some exercise in your daily life. If you eat every day, if you sleep every day, you go to the bathroom every day, if you talk every day, you must improve the circulation of your body from inside. So the easiest way to maintain the circulation in your body is learn something like yoga. You don't need a gymnasium, you don't need a swimming pool, you need a tennis racket, you don't need a basketball court, and anything. Wherever in the world you go, you lie on the floor and with a few postures I just demonstrate. If you keep doing it, you'll never have any medical problem. So this is the easiest way to maintain something without any outstanding help or instrument.
That we call.
Listen, we have to close this show.
That's right.
I want to thank you very much for watching the New York show. This was on yoga, and we'll be back next week with part 2 of this show with all my guests here on yoga and yoga therapy. So please don't miss it. And also, if you want to be in touch with Bikram, the main guest of my show, please call the telephone number at the end of the show, and I'll help you be in touch with us. Thank you very much. See you next week.
That's right. Thank you.